Welcome back to another episode of Modern Agent Marketing Girls. Today, we are taking you behind the scenes of our May Club meeting. Now, full disclosure, this meeting was originally over 2 hours long, and I pared it down to about 50 minutes-ish. So it's not the entire thing. However, inside this call, we had to go over a lot of just like high-level marketing conversations where we are looking for content in the wild and then asking ourselves, how can we make this work for us? Where can we find inspiration here? Because that's really the key to standing out online. The key is not looking to other agents and just like copying and pasting what they're doing. The key is to find something that maybe gives you a little bit of inspiration and then putting your own twist on it. Spoiler, putting your own twist on it is a lot easier when you know your personal brand, right? And that's why we spend so much time with Camp Modern Agent and even here talking to you guys on the podcast every single week. We want you guys to really understand the power of personal branding and what it can actually unlock for you and your business. So if you are listening in real time, our doors are currently open right now inside the membership until May 28th. So you have a few more days where you can join and you can lock in and get ready to really take your brand seriously and transform not just your marketing and not just your business, but transform yourself. We don't sell information. Our product is not information. It is 100% transformation. The people who join Modern Agent Social Club and start applying the tactics and start getting the results and start using the content, not only start getting more clients and start getting more noticed, but they step into this new version of themselves that just sees things so differently. It's like they cannot unsee it, right? So that's what we want for you. And maybe today's call will just give you a little bit of a sneak peek at what that would look like if you would be in the membership as well. How do I get more leads?
How do I stand out in my market?
Is it unprofessional to talk about my kids on Instagram?
Should I have one account or two?
Do I really need a personal brand as a real estate agent?
We are the Modern Agent Marketing Girls. We are two agents turned marketing experts who believe you can become the go-to real estate girl in your market all because you are you. I'm Chelsea Peterson, founder and CEO of Modern Agent Social Club.
And I'm Kayla Fox, Modern Agent's content creator. Let us be your guide as we talk about what it means to market your real estate business the modern way.
So refill your favorite beverage, open your notes app, and get ready to build a business and a brand you're obsessed with. Let's go.
So what we're going to do right now is we are going to dive right into some content that we've been loving so that you guys can like find some inspiration, find a little nugget that you're like, oh my gosh, I could do something with that, okay? What I really recommend doing is maybe having like a notebook and pen out. I have like little note cards even here that I can like write things on when we do meetings. But that way you can write things down. You can always open up Canva during meetings like this. You can always open up Instagram during meetings like this, be saving things. But I want to just give you guys some inspiration. Let's start with this first one. Now, if you guys have been following the marketing plans, you have seen me post about this thing before. But I like just finding cool, creative graphics and stuff that can just pop on your feed. They usually take a little bit more effort than usual. However, they're not like impossible to do. So this is the first one here. So let's click over here and see what we got. Okay, this is Ella's marketing service. I love this post so much. And I did one of these in the marketing plans, but here's the deal. It's basically just a girl standing there. She's got her phone, she's got her drink, but then there's little like zoom in sections where you add like a little video, okay? Before you get like super creative with this, I would just recreate this. Like literally just for the sole sake of practicing, even if you're like, I'm not like an outfit of the day girl, or I don't need to like show my shoes, that's fine. I want you just to practice creating this exact post, and then you can play around with it. What you can do is you can turn this more into like a sneak peek of a listing. So you can be standing here and you could be holding maybe like a lockbox in one hand and maybe like a folder with like some of your buyer information or seller information, listing information in that. And then maybe instead of showing your shoes, you could have like a tote bag with like your laptop, or you could have your sign laying on the ground or something, right? But do you see how you can take this and just look at the bones of this? And then you can think to yourself, how can I make this work for me? And what's so cool is when you start learning how to do this and you start doing it well, all of a sudden you just look like this creative genius. And really, it's not like you're like making these things up out of your head. You're seeing inspiration elsewhere, but then you're applying it with those, like, again, I talk about like getting marketing girl eyes. When you can start adapting those marketing girl eyes and seeing content like this, your ideas for what you can do with any piece of content that we ever give you will be like limitless. Okay. Here's what's so cool about this though. So here's basically, she's standing here, right? She's kind of doing her little pose. Obviously, this is a video. You could take a video like this and then take a screenshot of like the pose that you want and make that your picture. But what I really like about this too is all these little like zoom in videos. All of these are like extra pieces of content. So you can get ready to go to the office, or you can get ready to go to your listing appointment or whatever. You can get all dressed, get ready to go outside with your tripod, set something up. But instead of just snapping one picture or one 10-second B-roll clip, you can capture 5, 6, 7 over and over again, zooming in on different parts of your outfit. You can zoom in on your buyer folder or your seller folder. You can zoom in on your lockbox in your hand. Like, you can grab so many pieces of content in less than 5 minutes. And that's how like marketing girls do things, right? Like, we get super efficient and we start to see opportunities literally everywhere we look, like in our hands, at our side, down by our feet, all the things. Okay. Does that feel like something that you guys can do? Does that feel like, I never thought about this before, but I think I could actually do that? Let's put a yes in the chat if that feels doable to you. I'll drop this link in the chat right now if you guys want to grab it and you haven't done it yet, because you'll get to see when you go through here, like I kind of labeled like, hey, these are things you can watch for. I did one of like Chelsea, like, hey, you could do this here, wherever. But then there's lots of different ways that you can use it. Okay. So let's find the template link. I'm going to give you guys a couple links today, just so you know. So pay attention to the chat. We're just throwing things around like confetti over here. Okay, let's go on to the next one. I love this girl. She is like a lifestyle influencer, but she does a lot of like cooking videos. This girl, Susie Vital. Have you guys followed her before? I mean, full warning, she's a little inappropriate, but she does lots of just like cooking videos at home, and she'll just make these like dirty jokes while she's doing this. However, recently she got into an accident, a really bad accident, ended up with this horrible concussion, all of that. So this is her just giving an update on how she's been healing, all of that, because her people have cared a lot about it. What I want you to pay attention to is the beginning of this video. Look at her camera position here, okay? So she starts off this video way up high, okay? Like the tripod's way up high, it's angled down. She has her little microphone and she's just saying, hey, it's me. You've probably been wondering about this. I'm going to give you a little bit of an update. And then she ends up sitting up, or she switches the angle right here. But do you see how that very first angle is like kind of eye-catching? It's kind of like, what is she doing? Or it's not like directly laid on top, but just a little bit of an angle. It's probably at like a 0.5. And so there's more like white space all around her. It just catches your eye. Okay. When I'm going through my Instagram and when I'm like scrolling and whatnot, I'm not just like looking for funny cat videos, although those have their place in my feed. However, I'm also looking for like those little tiny details. Like there's a little thing, whenever something catches my eye, I'll literally ask myself, like, why? Why did I stop? Why did I watch this whole thing? Why did I scroll back to watch that again? All of those details make a difference. And when you can get just a little bit, even just a little bit more intentional with the way that you start your videos, with the way that you share your hooks or any of those things, even like the last one with like those little tiny details with those little extra boxes on the screen, those things are eye-catching and they will get the attention of people in your community. So it's just a cool way, especially, you do that on a piece of content that maybe is just about like, this is what I'm doing this weekend or whatever. But they're also going to pay attention when you're like, hey, this lender just told me about this amazing new program and here's what you need to know about it. Like, they're going to pay attention. Okay, let's look at the next one here. I love this one. So this is like only 30 minutes, which is like, okay, only 30 minutes to take a nap or only 30 minutes to go for a walk, right? 30 minutes left. So she's going to watch TV, or 30 minutes left. I'm going to do a workout. But you go through here and like you get the idea. There's different ways that you can choose to spend your time, and like one moves the needle, one does not, right? So a couple things that I want you to notice here. You can do like if you did like an only 30 minutes angle, it could be like only 30 minutes on top and you are like scrolling Zillow, or it could be like only 30 minutes and it could be like a picture of 2 coffees and your laptop or whatever, and it could be like a mini consult. right? Big difference there in the needle movingness of those two things. You could also do something like, it's just a small town, and it could be like, a picture of the grocery store or something. Or it could be, it's just a small town and everyone's like saying hi to each other at an event. Like if you have a picture of you at like maybe like a farmer's market, and you have like one of your kids take a picture of you talking to your friend there, like just a small town, but like this is so great. You know what I mean? It like shows the positive side of that. Is that making sense to you guys? Another one, just that you'll like this one. It's only an hour from Indianapolis. So you could think like, okay, it's an hour from Indianapolis. So that could be like, oh, I can quickly go there and quickly go shopping, or I can quickly go to a game or to an event or whatever. Or an hour from Indianapolis, and it could be like you in the backyard with like a fire going, right? And have it be like peaceful and quiet. That's a cool way to kind of emphasize for a listing that like, hey, like this house is, an hour outside of this city. And here's what's so great about that. Because you're only an hour from the city, but also you're a whole hour from the city. Like there's so many perks there. So a couple different ways that you can look at those pieces of content and just ask yourself, like, how can I make this work for me, right? Like, and that's what I want you to do with every piece of content you even see on our website. Like when you're scrolling through our website and you're looking at all of this content, it can be so tempting to go through here and think like, well, I would never stand like that, or I didn't take a lot of pictures this week, or I don't have like cute selfies like that right now. I don't have pictures of backpack. Like it's so easy to like look through here and think like, oh, this isn't for me. But when you start developing these marketing girl eyes and you start thinking like a marketer, your options are literally limitless. And that's where what's so cool is not only will you see so much more potential with every piece of content, but then your only focus can be your personal brand. It can just be like, how can I make this look more like me? And that's all you have to think about. It no longer consumes your mind like, I need to find a piece of content about new construction. You don't have to think that anymore, because anything is about new construction. That's not the problem. The problem is, how do I position myself as the go-to agent for all things new construction in this city? See the difference there? Is that resonating here? Yay. All right, let's keep rolling. I love this reel so much. It's the Hannah Montana song that you get the best of both worlds. That song, you didn't know you were getting a concert today. So it's just a fun song. You guys, if you guys look her up right now, all of you do it. Dr. Riley Cluck. I think it's supposed to be Riley C. Luck, not Cluck, okay? But you can find this reel. I can just drop it in the chat. Look at us, guys. We're going to make things happen. All the replay girlies are going to be jealous of all these links. There you go. So she is showing her work life and her personal life. Okay. So she's showing like what it's like to be in medicine, but then she's also showing like herself on a boat or going out for dinner or whatever with her friends. Like what an easy way to use that content more to share a little bit of real estate, a little bit of local, a little bit of personality, all in one post, right? So I want you guys to start thinking of it this way. Tell me in the chat, if you had to recreate this reel, what kind of things would you purposely include when it comes to like personal? So you're going to have a few things that are real estate related, whether it's that you're walking into a house or opening a door, putting a sign in the yard. What kind of personal things could you like literally go through on your camera roll right now and find? Because honestly, you could probably create this in like 5 minutes because you probably already have all the footage that you need. Oh my gosh, you just answered so fast. I have to go back. Okay, let's see. Working out, walking dogs, kids, dog talk, tennis, espresso martini, golden retriever, workouts, kids to the park, Target runs, my dog, camp, Gigi. Oh, I love that. Gardening, playing with my dog. Oh my gosh, so many good dog mamas in here. I love this. Guys, these are so good. Do you understand that like everything that you guys just said is like your personal brand? And it might feel so basic. It might feel like, well, these were just like little minutes and moments from my day. That's literally your personal brand, okay? So every one of you could literally make this reel today and not one of you would look the same. You could have multiple agents in your own community who are all a part of Modern Agent Social Club, post this reel, and not one of you would look the same. So that's what's so exciting. Pouring my drink, dog walks, trivia, mom moments, Disney fun. Oh my gosh, like this is all so good. Who is like thinking to themselves, I can make this reel today? Like, even just raise your hand. I just want to see. I feel like you could all literally make this reel today. And it's just a fun way to do it, right? What this is going to do is it's just going to like give you opportunities to have conversations with your local followers. You know, you might think like, who cares if someone who would want to see me walk my dog, or who would want to even see me like pour a drink, or who would care about me going to my kid's baseball game? People care. Like, they ask about this stuff all the stinking time. The moment I show anything about like what I'm making my kids for dinner or anything, and my DMs are getting full of like, what are you making? What's the recipe? Where'd you get that? Whatever. It has nothing to do with marketing. No one's getting in my DMs saying like, can you please help me with my marketing? Like, they do on Modern Agent, but not my personal one. But that doesn't mean I'm not building trust with people and like having more conversations with them. Okay, let's go to the next one. We have so many today, guys. This is gonna be so fun. Okay, want to go for a walk. So, you guys, this one was so fun. Chelsea sent me this one. Want to go for a walk, and then the walk. Okay, so obviously this is a beautiful beach town. This looks absolutely nothing like my town. Okay, not even a little bit. However, think to yourself, how could you use this reel? And I want you guys to tell me in the comments, what's like the real estate modern agent s'more twist you could put on this reel to make it work for your account? Yes, Lee, showing your city. Absolutely. Oh, a final walkthrough. I love that. Neighborhood of a new listing. Yep. You guys don't even need me here anymore. This is so good. I love it. What else could we do? Local coffee shop, park, free little library, walking a dog in the neighborhood, by a pond, iced coffee. Yeah. Sharon, you're good, girl. Wearing my color and walking the trails near my new listing. I love it. Local spot. Yes, you guys see, like, and that's what's so cool. You guys could literally do this reel once a week, all spring and summer long. All spring and summer long, and show something different. It could be a walk to Target. The next time it could be a walk with your kids. The next time it could be a walk with the dog, walking through a final walkthrough, or walking through a neighborhood that you're listing a house in, right? Think about how many times you're just walking about, walking through showings, walking through an open house, or walking through a broker's open, right? You can literally do this again and again and again. And you will have, like, you have your content now set for the next 3 months. Heck, you could do this all the time if you wanted to, but especially like if you like being outside and whatnot, when it's like nicer weather like this, shoot, play it up right now, right? I would do something about like walking around the football field, or walking to like practice for my kids and that kind of thing, because I do a lot of that stuff too. I did one year when I was doing real estate full time. I did like a fall home tour, because everyone's always like showing all their decorations and their pumpkins and all of that. Well, I'm a football wife and I don't have time to do that stuff because we're busy. My sister would record it for me, or my daughter did it one time, but I would like open up my front door and I'd be like, come on in. And they kind of follow in, and then they kind of zoom into the door. And then the next scene would be like me at the football stadium. Like, this is my house right now. Like, this is my home away from home. Right. And it was always just like a fun, like, talking point. And it reminded them like, oh yeah, she's the football coach's wife. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that was a bad thing. But you know what? It was memorable. People remembered it. Okay. I love this girl's post. I'll drop this in the chat too. You guys seeing all of these? Perfect. Okay, so let's look at this for a little bit here, and then I want you to tell me how you could use this post. This is her marketing collective, the results. I think this is the photographer who took these photos. But you go through and it says, meet Cass. Cass helps small businesses feel seen, supported, and celebrated with marketing that makes sense. How cute is that picture? So cute. We separated her shoot into 4 main scenes to keep us organized, get us the most variety. Here's what she said about her photos, a little screenshot of her like testimonial. Here's how she's using them. Here's what we created. Now there's multiple different ways that you could do this, right? You could look at this as someone who's like, meet my clients, and gonna take you behind the scenes of what they did. Most of us probably don't have that many photos of our clients, right? So how else could you use this? Even just looking at like her actual pictures, what kind of things, if you took pictures like these, what kind of things could you say on the screen to make this work for your marketing? Melissa, thank you. Yes, I love that. She's getting more information about her small group. And yeah, just join one or start one. Super simple. I love that. Amanda, yes, I use it as a self-introduction. Absolutely. Each step for preparing a house for the market. Yeah. Let's say like you could put like listing day, and it could be a picture of you all excited, right? It could be one of your branding photos. It could be a photo that you literally take today. The next one could be like, the first thing I do is meet with my clients on Zoom. And it could be a picture of you next to your laptop talking, right? Then I get on my laptop and I look for, either like comps, or I'm looking for like trying to get their equity, or I'm trying to set them up on a home buyer search, like whatever that thing is. And then, yeah, you could just go through here. But look at the actual images and think to yourself, okay, I might not lay on the floor, but I would lay in my hammock in the backyard with my laptop, or I would sit on my front porch with this, or I would sit next to my dog on the couch. And then I might not be a big reader, but I could put a plate of cookies, or I could put a Caesar salad, or I could put like a pot of flowers that are like all my color or whatever. Like there's so many different ways. Like when you start looking at every piece of content almost as like just little cues, like things to watch for, and then you like plug your stuff in, it makes showing up and it makes making your content stand out so much easier. Sharon, yeah, she has brand colors in every photo. Yeah, I love the colors of her photos. So we went over individual pieces of content that were really good. But right now, I want us to kind of shift gears a little bit, and I want us to look at accounts as a whole that I think are worth noting, okay? So right now, can everybody see this page right here? Her name is Rebecca Kula, okay? Now, this girl's not a realtor, right? But we don't look to real estate agents for inspiration. The way that you are going to stand out and become like the marketing girl in your community, that listings are going to be like, nope, I only want her to list my house and I want her to market my house and all of that stuff, is if you think outside the box, like what we just said, and if you look outside your community. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to look at Rebecca Kula, okay? So she's like a lifestyle blogger, basically, okay? Now, I'll go through some of these posts a little bit, but I want you to tell me in the chat, what are just a few things that you notice right away that you either like or you think you maybe could imitate? Okay, oh my gosh, you guys are so good. She is always having fun, yeah. Personality, she's a fun dresser. Personality, fun yellow font, lots of her face, color pops. Okay, with most frames being her face, yellow, very consistent color, her expressions, her fonts, cute fonts, expressive photos, face on camera, eating with the sky, consistent coffee, consistent, looks like fun, wanting us to know, me too, I think she'd be a fun friend. No boring photos, yes, exactly, her face, yellow, like, yes, you guys got it, okay? Do you guys think when people pull up your Instagram account, like if we would pull up your Instagram account and we would be like, tell me what you think of, or tell me what you like, or tell me what you notice, ask yourself, what do I think honestly right now they would probably say about my account? And is that what I want them to say? Maybe if it's a little bit off, let's think about that as we're breaking down some of these accounts. Because again, there are very simple, easy little shifts you can make that can really make your content feel so much more like, this is fun. I want to get to know her. What is she doing? What is she wearing now? Even if you're not like a, outfit of the day kind of girl. People can think that about your account, even if you're sharing real estate content. Yes, I love that too. So much personality. Almost all her stuff is video. Yep, exactly. So a couple things that I've noticed too. First of all, I do love her photos. I love that she is in 90% of all her photos, right? Some of the photos are like more posed than others. Some of them, like I love this one where she's just kind of laughing. Here, like that's not like she's like, oh, this is my favorite, look, but she's just smiling, having fun, eating pizza. This one, her face isn't in it, but she's still in it. I really love this one right here because of the background, how there is like, she's obviously inside some kind of like cafe or coffee shop or something local. Like she's got a skateboard here, like that's super memorable, right? There's so many little things. But then, yeah, she also is doing lots of like mom outfits. And there's a couple different fonts and colors, but that's what she like is consistently doing all throughout here. The other one that you'll notice is the affordable finds. And she does it right here. She does it right here. Like as you go through, there are just pieces of her that are more memorable than others, right? So how can we make our feed, not to make our feed more like this, because maybe you're like, that is way too much color for me, or I would never wear an oversized t-shirt like that or whatever. That's fine. But like ask yourself, okay, if I wanted my brand to make people feel like this, then what could I do? One really easy shift is even if, like, especially if you have like reels and you're like, I don't really like the cover photo of them or whatever, the easiest thing you can do is you can change the cover photo of your reel. And I believe any reel that you've ever posted before, I think you can still change it. So if you've got a couple of reels where you're like, I just don't really like how that looks on my feed, take a photo of yourself that you love that maybe has some white space like this or a local place like this, or maybe it's a more detailed oriented of like your outfit, your drink, your shoes, whatever. Take a photo like that and just replace the cover photo of a reel that you've already done, that you don't even have to create another piece of content. It can just already make your content pop a little bit more. But again, what I love about this too is like, obviously she knows what she's doing. I mean, she's got 109,000 followers. She's doing something right? But she's not taking herself so seriously. It doesn't appear like she is like, well, today's outfit is this. And the reason that I chose this oversized whatever with this small pattern mixed with this large pattern, like she's not like explaining her decisions or her expertise. Just like we don't have to explain like, this is the definition of earnest money, or here's what interest rates mean for you. Now, it doesn't mean you can't talk about earnest money or interest rates. It just means social media is not the place for people to go and get like a life lesson or be educated. They're there to be entertained, and more than anything, like what all of you guys said, to feel something, to feel like, well, I want to know her, or like I'm drawn in. If your guys' account looked anything like this at all, which again, it doesn't have to, but if it did, I bet you'd have a lot of local followers following you, right? They'd see your content. They'd be like, what is this girl doing? I want to see what she's doing. And then if you're like, come with me to go see a house or whatever, and you take a picture like that, then it's just so much more engaging. Okay. So I love that so much. Sarah shared another link to the girls' cover photos. I love that. We talk about personal branding all the time, but maybe that sounds complicated. But what if I told you you could have a personal brand by Friday?
We're giving you a simple week-long plan with clear action steps to follow Monday through Friday, so by the end of the week, you have everything you need to start standing out in your market.
Click the link in the show notes to grab your personal brand by Friday guide so you can get started today. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is Lisa Hugendorn. I like that name. Tell me what you guys notice about her feed. Tell me what her feed maybe makes you feel or think. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of like neutrals, still consistent colors, but not bright and wild like the other girl, right? Lots of neutrals, warmth, relaxed, coordinated, consistent. Yeah, calm, inviting, sunglasses, warm, cozy. Not always looking at the camera, very candid. I love that word. Up close, far away, diversity of the content. Absolutely. So yeah, do you guys see how someone whose style is really, for the most part, completely different than the other girl, it can still draw people in. It can still make people go, wait, what is she doing? And I love all of these. I'm going to zoom in on some of them. I've sent some of these to Randy because I'm like, make some like this for our members. So media I've consumed this week. So just little like texty, little extra details there in Canva that she's probably added. So then she adds like photos of things that she's doing. She's documenting what she's up to. But then she also adds a little extra like, this is what I'm reading right now. That alone would spark conversation and make people be like, wait, how was it? Or I just ordered that. Or I love Abby too. What she's listening to right now. But then also all the details like her outfit, all of that is still on point. She got the flowers. I love this one too. This is like a YouTube clip right here. So even if you're like, well, I don't even have YouTube. What do you have? Is it a podcast that you're listening to? Is it a training that you just took? Even just like the front entrance of your brokerage or whatever, like what could you add to your content to make people feel something, right? Even if like, let's say like you have a listing and maybe it's been sitting for a little while and you're like, I don't know what else to do. What if you could like zoom in on a few of the photos that your photographer took? So instead of just showing the whole kitchen, what if you zoomed in on like the refrigerator and the little coffee corner and the dining room table and the, side door or whatever near the kitchen. But then in the middle, you put like a Nancy Meyer's kitchen playlist. And then you put something about like the tunes I would listen to as I'm making peanut butter and jellies for my kids all summer or whatever, right? So it's just like it draws people in and it makes more of an experience out of your content versus just being like, yep, that's a house or yep, that's a listing. I'm not buying right now, whatever. It gives people a reason to stay a while, right? I love this too. Even just like, what are you listening to right now? More playlists, all of that. I love that one. This one I like too. We do a lot of posts like this inside the membership as well, but like just the best of April and then adding little details of, she's listening to a lot, she's drinking lots of little coffees, whatever. But then just like pictures of her food, like she's just documenting everything. Her dog, her, like what she went shopping for, going for a walk, her new shoes, so many little things. Now your life does not have to be this aesthetic for this to really work for you. Because again, her style is kind of a more like elevated, neutral aesthetic, right? But like this girl, like her content wouldn't look like that. But if you would go through her content, I don't know if she has very much in the way of, like see how her content has so much more like color and fun angles and all of that stuff. Like this is her, but her content, if she would plug these photos into this type of carousel, it would look completely different. And the same is true for you. And it would still work, by the way, too. It would still be really powerful. So I want you to think about those things. And you come across someone like her, don't think to yourself, well, I could never do that, or I could never look like this or whatever. You can look like you, but still take elements of what she's done and add it to your strategy. Like if you want to add like little details like this, like part 4 and, screenshots of new follower, like if you want to add your own version of that, just even for a little while, maybe even this summer, you're like, you know what, this summer, I just want to add a lot more fun to my content. I want to add little doodles of like a sun and stars, or I want to add little like screenshots of things to my content. Just try it for a little while. See if it sticks. If you get tired of it, just quit doing it. Like no one's going to hold you accountable to that, right? But it's just a matter of like trying some new things, experimenting in some different ways. And it's going to get the attention of people who are used to following you, who are going to be like, what is she doing? Like, I want to see, because it's going to be different, right? So good. Okay, let's do another one. This one is going to feel like a breath of fresh air for you. If any of you are overwhelmed at this point, which I always say, you're not overwhelmed. It's just new, right? But this is going to feel like a giant permission slip to you. I want you to tell me why do you think I would say that for this account, okay? Let me drop her in here. Carrie Williamson. Is there anything about her account that you think, oh, that'll be easier? Okay. Everyday life. Not perfectly perfect. All over the place in a good way. More diverse. Yeah, feels relatable. Real life, low pressure, right? Oh my gosh. This like makes me feel like I can do this. I can totally do this. Yeah, repeats on photos. And even like you'll notice like splashes of green throughout her content. But a lot of it is literally her holding the same planner. It's not like she's like, I gotta go shopping, gotta buy stuff in my color. No, she just puts the same thing in her photos again and again and again. She wears the same cardigan. Like, I guess these are like 2 different shirts. She wears them again and again and again, right? She does this over and over again. 24 minutes for a better 7 days, where she talks about how a couple years ago, I was so overwhelmed. So what I did was I developed my own planning strategy. And this is how I now plan every single week. And you can do this too. She drops literally like this exact same format every single week. And I swear some of it is probably the same clips. However, she shows like this is this is the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, whatever. But she'll talk about just how she breaks things up and how she's able to squeeze in a little bit of me time, even in the midst of a busy week. Like, you guys realize you could do this so easily. You guys could get a cute planner. Where's mine? I love my little planner. Got this from Anthropology. But if I would just open this up and just talk about like, okay, this week, this is what I have going on for work. This is what I've got going on with the kids. This is what I want to do for fun. Or this is something, special that's on our calendar, whatever. People are just interested in that. And, we talk about like in your stories, you can easily take a little screenshot of what is on your agenda for the day and all that, and you can share that for sure. But think about it. You could do that, and you could also create a reel where you're just like a week in the life of a real estate agent who is also a mom of 2, or who also lives on a farm, or who also whatever, and then you can just go through and you can just show, hey, this is what I do. This is how I plan my week. This is what my week looks like. Here's another one right here. You're going to see she's doing a lot of the same things, showing it over and over again. Look, these are the exact same clips, guys. The exact same clips. How easy is that? Then she also does a few things. So she'll sit on her chair, cross-legged, and she'll just share one little thing. This one's the learning log. This is what she's learning. This one is woo-woo that works. The top 5 shifts that have changed my days. My current hyperfixation. I mean, you guys, you could just pick a cute spot in your house and sit there. You don't even have to have anything else in your house picked up. Just sit there, cross your legs, get a little microphone, and just say, like, the shoes that I always wear to showings. Or the one piece of advice I always give people who are moving to City Name. Or the one event in the spring that I will never miss, ever, ever. You know what I mean? Like, that's your content. And that's face-to-cam content that will build so much trust with your people. And yes, you know what? You can also do You can also do a carousel with this. You can put it in so many different ways. You could put it in your stories, but she does like 3 different types of content and that's it. And she's now at 34.9 thousand followers. When I found her account, I'm pretty sure she was at like 32. And that was last week. Okay. It's wild. It's wild what you can do. Yes. So authentic, not curated. Yeah. Yes, Jessa, I know you don't have to have your whole house be cute. You should see most of my house right now. It's a disaster. I got 4 kids. Okay, this is an author, okay? Do you guys know Sarah Adams? She writes little like rom-com books. Obviously, she got a bunch of books. You're not an author, so you're probably not sharing a bunch of books. However, what could you be sharing again and again and again in the same way that she's sharing it? So first of all, her whole vibe is very like springy and colorful and fun, right? I love like the heart sunglasses and like the bright colors, the fun selfies, all of that. This one right here is straight from Canva, the saved graphics. I love her color palette too. Yes. So good. Okay. So what she's saying here is, I'm a New York Times bestselling author. This is my best advice for how to write a good book. And then she just screams into a pillow. So what if you made a reel like that and you're like, here's my best advice for buying a house in the spring market. And then you just like scream or like go outside and yell or whatever, just to add a little bit of humor. And then in the caption, you could say something like, just kidding. It's actually not that bad. Here's like 3 success stories my clients have had lately, right? Like so simple. And this is just like a rom-com author that you can get inspiration from. She shows a lot of behind the scenes of what it's like working from home. She's just writing from home a lot, but showing her mugs. Oh my gosh, I had this mug growing up as a kid. Did you guys have this? You guys have these? I had those for all my coffee that I drank as a child. Anyway, so yeah, just talking about like what I wrote this week, what I worked on, what I did. I mean, think about this. Literally show your on-brand beverage every single day, even if you pulled up like a screenshot of your calendar for the day and like what I did this week. And that's what you shared. Easy piece of content, right? And it's just like a fun new way to see things. There's something here where she went and shopped somewhere and she found some of her things, but just like a local shopping post, right? So just like a simple little mix, still very girly, very fun, but also still on point. You look at her stuff and you know she's an author, but she's more than that. And her followers are like drawn to her because of who she is. Okay, here's one more for you. This is called Mia's Running Again. You want to talk about the power of journey style content and content that makes you feel like you're going to see the beginning, middle, and eventually the end, right? Open up a loop, be part of something. That's what this is. So first of all, I just love her name. If you guys are looking for a handle name change, I think something like Randy's Selling Houses or whatever. I think that's just, it's so cute and so fun, but it clearly tells you what it's going to be about, right? But what do you guys think of when you see her account? I would love to hear what you guys think. Couple things that I noticed just right off the bat is, first of all, obviously this is a running account, right? Just like people are going to look at you and go, obviously this is a real estate agent. But she doesn't look like someone who's going to sit there and be like, now, part of my training is that I wear these type of shoes that I have to carb load on this day. I can't believe I know that term, carb load. Or that I always, like do this, or here's how I prep for a race. Like, she's literally just showing the journey. She's just taking you along. I mean, she even talks about, I use my period to make me a better runner. And she'll go through the whole thing, but she's showing her journey, right? Think about how inspiring this is. Even if you're like, let's pretend that you're an agent who works with a lot of first-time home buyers. Now, you might be on your 3rd house, okay? But you can still create content like this that makes people like rise up and feel something and be like, that's the one for me, okay? So this was like a first-time homeowner real estate account. She could be sharing things like, okay, this is how I packed for an international marathon. This could be like how I packed when I moved out of my parents' house. Now, she might not have photos of her doing that exact same thing, but think about what she could do. She could literally just like grab all of her hangers and throw them in the car, right? Or like take a box and like put her yearbooks in it or whatever. But to just show like, this is what it looks like when you call me and you take action and I get you into your house. Talk about motivating. There's so many examples here. Even just her saying like, okay, this is my goal. If you're like, this is my goal for this month. My goal is to meet with this many homeowners because I really want to help 50 first-time home buyers in city name this year. That's my goal. So this month, I'm hoping to meet with 5. Here are a couple reasons why you should meet with me, or here's 2 signs that maybe you're ready to meet with me. Anything like that, right? And then her just sitting in her car talking instead of giving you like a instructional carousel too, that builds so much trust and it makes her so much more memorable. But she still has like lots of fun fonts, lots of stars, lots of like girly little pops. Okay, I got a few pieces of content inspiration. This is a visual hook that I want you to pay attention to. See how they're just opening up a bag and grabbing a product? And then it's like, this is what I got. What if you had your purse, you pulled out like a pair of keys or your lockbox or something, and it was just like, look what's coming, and that was the very first clip of a listing video? Like, this would grab people's attention. It would make them be like, what is she doing? What's she reaching for? I don't understand. It would draw attention even on your feed. If your feed photo was like a photo like this with you holding the keys, that like gets people's attention. Like, what is she doing, right? So simple. Let me give you the link for that, and then we're going to keep firing through here. Oh, this one's really cute. I just love this angle. So she sets up a little tripod in her car. She shows the rear view mirror, or not the rear view mirror, the side mirror. And then obviously it's like her and her boyfriend. But it could be you walking into a house, like if you position the car just right. Or it could be you popping champagne. Or it could be you holding your sign and just walking toward the car. Like something so simple, but just that quick little B-roll clip where you're like, oh yeah, like I can add this. Honestly, if you take a 10-second B-roll clip like this, you could put it in multiple pieces of content, just like that girl did that was doing the planning session. You could do the exact same thing and just have it be like something that people see and it's very recognizable for you over and over again, right? I'm going to give you guys this one. This is a little template link for you. A listing cover photo, okay? There's no caption or anything that goes with this. There's a couple different options. The idea is you'll have a picture of the house, you'll have a picture of yourself, and then you're going to take a screenshot of the map where that person lives. If you look really closely, you'll see where I live. But that's just a fun way, again, to kind of break up the feed, to make your feed look more interesting, to grab more attention of people who might be looking at your listing. And then you can add your stuff here. So when you add your photo, first of all, if you want it, let me just show you how this works. Instead of being like, well, I don't know how to remove the background, or I don't know how to add this little white outline or whatever. You can literally add a photo and do that. Like just drop it over and then it will do it for you. Okay. So simple. But you can also upload the picture of the map. Here, the other thing that you can do if you're like, I don't even have a listing right now, but I love the look of this. You can upload a picture or a map of like your city. And then you can talk about like something that you're doing in that town this weekend. Or like your favorite coffee shop, or the library, or the farmer's market, or whatever that you're going to go to, or even just like a neighborhood spotlight. Like this could be the cover photo for so many different things. Isn't that so fun? Yay! I'm so glad you guys are with me. There's a couple different versions here. I also had this too, just a couple different pictures. First of all, creating signs like this, like with just like a big piece of poster board and literally writing on it and taking pictures with it, it really does catch the eye of people. And I'm going to tell you more about that in a minute. I also added a few sneak peeks of like the houses or the house right here, or you could do something like this too. So many different ways to use this. I hope that you guys have a lot of fun with this one. The link is there. You guys can grab it and you can make it your own. Okay, this is the one I want to talk about real quick. This was Amy Porterfield's thing. Actually, I'm not even going to open it up because this is all you need to see right here. So she said, I held up a notebook and meta ad and conversion spiked. That's it. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I have noticed this so many times, and now I see a lot of people doing it. But having something tangible like in your hands as you are giving the example, even like me giving like this example, this will stick with you a lot more than me just telling you, right? Because you have like that visual. There's a book called Draw to Win, and it talks about how like if people can't picture it, then it's not persuasive. They won't remember it because our brains are always looking more than what we're listening, okay? So what does this mean for you? I have a couple examples, as you know me. Okay, first of all, let's look at post 21 in May content, okay? My unpopular opinion as a city name real estate agent. Buying a home is not always the right answer. Yep, I said it. Goes on and on. You can book a mini consult, okay? Love this post. It's like kind of catching. It's a little bit, when you say like unpopular opinion, it has a little bit of like a negative connotation that makes people be like, what is she going to say? You know, like that builds so much interest. But here's another way that you could do it and actually build your brand a little bit more and have content that's a little bit more memorable? What if you just recorded yourself, you had your phone in front of you, and you said, my unpopular opinion as a city name real estate agent, and then you held up something like this. Things as buying a house is not always the answer, okay? And then you put it down, and then you said, like, because sometimes actually renting is better. Like, and here's why. And you can just kind of explain right there, right to the camera. My job is not to push you to buy a home. It's to just guide you. So I'm going to stand by this right here. Do you see how that's going to be like more powerful than just posting a carousel? And does that feel like easy? Because this is pretty easy. I literally just wrote this down. You know what else you can do with something like this is you can say like things I would never say to your face, but I need you to know. And then you can just like hold this up and that can literally be the end of it. And then you can just have the caption. Like so simple, right? Or let's look at post number 14. So I want you guys, again, to see the content and honestly post the carousel too, but then also post the reel where you're talking about it and you're giving examples like this, okay? Look at this one. It says, want to know what keeps me showing up for my clients every single day. I love this post. It's comments like this. So it can be like an Instagram comment or a Facebook comment. Text like this. Oops. So a little message from a client. Reviews like this is a great place to put any review that you've gotten because this will actually make people care about it. And then like, hey, here's the thing. I love this post. And honestly, post it. But here's what else you can do. You could say something like, do you want to know what actually keeps me showing up for my clients every single day? And then you could hold this up. And I don't know what it says right now. I have to look closely. Can't believe this is real life. Thank you. You want to know what I did? On the back of this, I wrote down what I want to say about it. So I'm going to show the screen, the thing, and then I'm going to say, this is a text from my client when I helped her buy her first house. Like, this stuff lights me up. I'm going to go to the next one. This one right here, okay? It says, my friend had a bad agent experience, so I told her about you. So then I'm going to say, when someone at church stops to tell me this, like, I'm showing up to raise the industry standards. Next one, and I have another one here, okay? And this one says, my daughter playing real estate with her friend. My kids did this when I did real estate full time. It was so cute. And then I'm going to say, you know what? Because when all else fails, like I'm showing up to show my kids what it looks like to like step into your calling and to follow your dreams and to build something bigger than yourself. Like that right there is a reel that will get saves and shares and DMs and build so much trust with people right there, right? And you see how it's like interactive? It's like, it gets people to stop and be like, what is she doing? What is she holding up? But then also like, it's so simple. It's so simple. Okay. I'm going to give one more. This was from post 13. This one is, picture this. It's May 2027 and you're doing these things because you trusted yourself to make the jump to buy a home. This is you 1 year from now, all because you entertained that idea of owning a home. So you're barefoot in your kitchen, making coffee, windows open, all of that. You're planting your garden, you're barbecuing, you are turning off the lights before bed, tying your shoes before you take your dog for a walk, like all of that, right? Like it's a moving post and it can make people be like, oh my gosh, that could be me in a year. Like I see that. But let me ask you this. What would it be like? And you guys, I'm telling you, I'm no artist here. As creative as what I am, I can't draw with anything. But you don't have to be a good drawer, okay? I'm going to show you this right here. So let's start right here. What if I was talking to the camera and I said something like, okay, picture this. 1 year from now, what if this is what your life looked like? And I started drawing on the board. And let me think here. It says you're barefoot in your kitchen making coffee, windows open, sourdough. So what if as I'm talking to the camera, or even if you wanted to make this like a voiceover, it might be a little easier. But what if I say like, this could be your life? And I literally write your life. And the first thing that I do is I just draw a window, right? And so as I'm drawing it, I can be saying, you're barefoot in your kitchen, making coffee. Your windows are open. The morning light's coming through. Planting your garden, watching the grass turn green. Okay. So like you're planting your garden and you're picking flowers with your kids and you're about to have people over and your yard looks so pretty because of the garden that you've planted. What if you are like walking around the house late at night? Guys, how do I draw a light bulb? Let's see. That looks like a light bulb, like ding, ding, ding. There we go. Hey, actually, I'm not bad, okay? You're walking around the house and you are turning off all the lights because you just tucked all your kids in and you've just finished reading books and now you're ready to like settle in and watch your favorite show, right? Or you're sitting on the stairs and you're about to go on a walk with your dog who is so happy. And also, by the way, the more that you can draw smiley faces on positive things, the more that makes people think like, well, I want that. Like, tell me more. I want more. Okay. If you drew something like this and then literally just said like, all of this can be yours, but it all starts with a mini consult. Okay. And I've got 10 openings this month. I would love to meet with you. The end. Isn't that so simple? It takes a little bit of effort. It takes being a little bit creative and thinking to yourself, how can I make a picture out of this? But this is not, Picasso. This is hardly second grade art, right? This is so simple, but it just helps people picture what you're talking about. It moves them to feel something and it moves them to action. Okay. Now, there's going to be some posts that you're going to look at and you're going to be like, I don't know how I can make that into a picture. Some of them just might not be very good examples, okay? But a lot of them are going to be really simple. If you can just think of like, what are little, like almost like clip art images that I can draw to paint the picture of what this looks like. It might take a little bit of practice, but you guys seriously can do it and your content's going to be more memorable. No other agent is going to be doing this. Modern agents are, but no other agents are going to be doing this. You're going to stand out so much more in your community. And yeah, Bridget, you're totally right. What about actually walking through the home, doing those things? Absolutely. That's so powerful. Showing it examples, like living it out, letting them see this could be your life, 100%. But if you're like, I don't have time for that, but I have this big poster board and I could draw something real quick, this is powerful too, okay? And again, a lot of people don't do this, and so it kind of breaks the scroll a little bit. But totally, you could totally reenact it here. You're telling a story, people will keep watching, hooking them with the message. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so simple.
I'm so glad we got to hang out today. If you're as sad as I am that our time is up, I've got good news. There are a couple of different ways we can keep the conversation going.
First, follow us on Instagram at Modern Agent Marketing Girls and introduce yourself in the DMs. Also, we always have a free Modern Agent resource available, so check out today's show notes for the goods.
And finally, hang out with other go-to real estate girls like you and finally create a marketing plan that works when you join Modern Agent Social Club. All the details are in today's notes.
XOXO, the Marketing Girls.